Have you ever wondered why your designs look really obviously DIY while everyone else seems to have these really polished designs and it looks like they've hired professionals, yet you know that they did that themselves and you're wondering, how are they doing it? How are they looking so good? It's not because you missed out on that elusive design gene and they're just born with the ability and you missed out on getting that. No, it's probably because you're making one of these mistakes. In this video, I'm going to break down the most common design mistakes that instantly make you look DIY. I'm going to share with you how you can avoid them so that you can look like you hired a professional. So the first mistake that can really give away that you've DIY'd your designs is overdoing it. You know, when you get just that little bit too carried away, you keep tweaking your design, you keep adding more things thinking it's going to make it look better, but it actually ends up making it look worse. This can be using too many elements, too many different colors, too many different fonts, and basically just doing it too much to the point that things look cluttered, you're confusing people about what to look at, it doesn't look cohesive, it just ends up confusing. So the biggest tip here is to remember that white space is actually a design tool. It doesn't mean that you're being lazy, you're not spending enough time designing. Allowing a lot of white space in a design allows your design to breathe, makes it easy and clear to understand. You don't have to overdo things. You can keep things really simple. In fact, minimal design can often look far more professional than something that is over-designed. So when you're feeling like things feel a little bit overwhelming, you've gone a bit too far, start removing things. It's a bit like when you've got all dressed up and you go out and you feel a bit overdone, you want to maybe take something off. So you're like, well, maybe this bit of jewelry is a little bit too much and you take it off. It's the same with your design. When it's feeling a bit too much, start to take things away. If you want to have a design that is a little bit more busy, a little bit more going on, then the key here is to check for consistency. Make sure that you're using very similar elements, that you've limited your color palette, that you'll keep using the same fonts. So when a design feels cluttered, either take things away or start to go, or maybe I've just added too many fonts now and I need to swap those fonts to the same font, or maybe there's too many colors now and I need to pull back the color palette a bit. Things like that. That's what you need to be watching for. Now, if this feels like something you struggle with, I've created a DIY design confidence starter kit and you can find the link to it down in the description below. This kit is really going to help you get started if you're struggling, feeling good about the way you design, learning some of those tips and tricks to get you looking more professional and making you feel more confident to design for yourself. So the next common mistake is lack of alignment and proper balance. When things feel a little bit wonky, your designs feel a little bit uncoordinated and awkward, and you've got misaligned text and images that are breaking the flow. You've ignored margins and spacing, you've just sort of skipped ahead and started putting things on the page without actually thinking about having some structure to the page, making sure you're getting out the rulers, getting out the margin lines, all those things that just help neaten things up. When your design is unbalanced, it's just going to feel a little bit off. You're going to look at the design and just something doesn't quite feel right. It could be that the elements on the page are actually out of balance. So maybe something is a bit bigger than it ought to be, or something is a little bit smaller than it ought to be, and you need to adjust things so everything on the page feels balanced, that visual weight is balanced out. Or maybe you were a bit lazy and just started putting things on the page and you didn't think about putting in margin lines or grid lines and making sure that everything's lined up. Because sometimes even a few pixels out can make something feel just that little bit less professional. When you take the time to put in those lines, to measure things up, to make sure everything aligns correctly, it can really make a big difference to making your designs look professional. It might seem really tiny and insignificant, but it can make a huge difference. So if you think you may have been making this mistake, a good thing to do is when you start a design, start off by putting those margins in, putting the center line in, make sure you put all those lines in Canva to make sure you've got the alignment. And then when you've finished the design and you've made sure everything's lining up, then looking at the balance of the page, does something feel a little bit visually off? Maybe something is a bit too big and it needs to come down a bit. Maybe something is a little bit too small and it needs to be increased in size. Sometimes you could even just duplicate your page and experiment. Try making something a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller to see if that makes it feel better. And then you haven't lost the original because you made a duplicate. You can even do several of them. Just try out different things and you'll start to train your eye better for this sort of thing. The more that you do that and experiment with that, your eye will start to get better at noticing this more naturally and you won't have to be doing this all the time. When you're first trying to get the hang of designing can really help make you more professional in the long run. Now, another big mistake is poor design decisions that break the consistency. Now, by this, I mean things like choosing an image that's a little bit pixelated, an inconsistent use of branding, so your logo's inconsistent or your brand colors are inconsistent, like you're just guessing some colors rather than using the exact hex codes. You're randomly throwing in some different fonts here and there, and it's starting to feel a little bit messy and a little bit unprofessional. And another thing that I see people do in this inconsistency is trying to imitate others. You see a particular design that's really popping off, people are really loving it, something that's really popular right now, and you try and imitate it. And maybe they were a professional designer or very well practiced and they've done a really good job of it, and your imitation is just sort of feeling a bit fake because it isn't very well designed, and it's kind of obvious that you just tried to copy the trend or just tried to copy what someone else has done, and it doesn't feel so good. It's really important to stick with your own branding and be very clear about your brand, knowing all your brand logo and variations, knowing exactly what your brand fonts are and how they should be used, knowing your brand colors and how they should be used, because it's not just knowing those colors and fonts as well, it's also the treatment, like which one should be used for headers, which one should be used for body copy, which colors are your primary colors and which ones are those secondary colors, what's that main color that's used the most and what colors are not used as much. All those things really matter, and sometimes we can really overlook them. So if you haven't, make sure that you put together some sort of brand guide for yourself. Make it really clear about what all your brand elements are and how they are to be used so that you can apply them in a consistent way. And when it comes to using things like elements and illustrations and graphics, make sure you're using things that are good quality. This means if you want to use free stuff, make sure it's quality free stuff. So Canva has heaps of good free stuff you can get there. Don't go grabbing stuff off Google. That's where you're going to come into problem. Not to mention the fact that it's probably a copyright issue, but you're also going to end up with stuff that's probably poor quality as well. Now, if your brand guide is something that you haven't worked on yet, I do have a full brand guide template that you can use, and I also have a free mini one as well. So if you just want to get started with something very simple, you can download my free mini one, or if you want the full thing, you can also find that in my shop. All the links are down in the description below. So by avoiding these mistakes, your designs aren't going to be screaming DIY. You're going to look so much more professional. Remember, it's not about being the most talented designer out there. It's not about having years of skill. It's just about being more thoughtful and careful in the way you design. Taking time to do things properly, not rushing and throwing things together, but carefully designing something in a thoughtful and well thought out manner that matches your brand. And if you are looking for some extra help in feeling more confident with design, you can download my DIY Design Confidence Starter Kit. You'll find the link to that down below. And if you feel like your designs always look terrible from the first try and you just sort of tend to give up and think, I'm just no good at this, you'll really enjoy my video on the pancake method, where I explain how this is really normal and the first design it's okay for it to be bad. Even if you're a professional designer with decades of experience, sometimes that first design can be terrible, and it can actually be a good thing, and it can actually really help you with design. So happy creating, and see you next time.